What's up, y'all? It's your boy, Brain Waves. Let's talk today or tonight or this evening about your boy Neyo. Many of you know who Neyo is. If you don't, I just want to briefly talk about this subject. This is what's buzzing in the streets. Neyo actually gives his stance, okay, on these parents that are involved with the community, okay? I will say a lot of people may not agree with this, especially if you are in the community, but hey, it is what it is. And one thing I have to give Neyo credit is that he is standing out and he's speaking up, because you have a lot of celebrities and a lot of people that just choose to stay quiet, even in the crowds. And this has been part of the power and part of the agenda, and why things are able to go so far down the road. Okay, so many of you are wondering, hey, how did I wake up and see that things have gotten this far, especially as it relates to my kids or grandkids or my nieces and nephews or my friends' kids? I mean, obviously, kids in general, right? It's because many people have chosen to stay silent. Many people have buckled under the peer pressure of the cancel culture. And so, of course, because Neyo has issued his public stance, he did receive some backlash. But I want to talk about it. And again, I want to give him credit for doing so. I'd like to welcome you all here. If you haven't done so, as soon as you come in the building, get the likes up, hit the like button. If you haven't subscribed, I kindly ask that you do so. Hit the notification bell. Make sure you select all. If you are currently subscribed and you do not receive any notifications from me, try to unsubscribe immediately, resubscribe, and then hit the notification bell and select all. Hopefully, that will rectify your issues, okay? Also, you can support the work besides getting the like up, share this video. I know we say like, comment, subscribe, and share, but I don't know if everyone does it. But this is a great way you can support the work. Share it with your social media groups, your friends, your family, your coworkers, your classmates, in conversations. Feel free to share my content. You can also join the membership. Go to my YouTube channel's homepage and you will see a join button. I have 4 respective tiers. I'd like to give a shout out to all my members and thank you for doing so. You can also hit the PayPal, Cash App, and Venmo. I have the Cash App and PayPal information in the bottom left and right respective corners on the screen. You will also find the Venmo information in the description box. $1, $5, $10, $1 million. Every amount is greatly appreciated. And finally, you can also book a life coaching appointment with me. I am a life coach, a prophet, and content creator, amongst other things. So we can talk via video chat, video recording, phone conversations, in person in the local Atlanta, Georgia area. Doesn't matter what it is. Love, business, career, finance, spiritual. You name it, I do it. Again, just follow the instructions in the description box or simply go to brainwaves.com. All right, so we're going to talk about your boy Neyo. Man, okay? Like I said, this is breaking news. It's kind of buzzing around, so you may not see a lot of content creators talk about it. The so-called woke community is probably going to have a problem with this here. But hey, it is what it is, and I have to give him some credit for it. So we're going to take a look here at a particular article that I would like to put on the screen. We're going to read through this article quickly, and I will also include my commentary. Again, I welcome those of you that are here in the chat. Neyo says that he doesn't understand parents who let their kids make a life-changing decision about their gender identity, right? And I have to agree. All right. I absolutely have to agree, because this stuff is just going too far, and they're trying to take away every single bit of freedom that we have. They say in the midst of championing freedom, we're actually losing freedom and becoming more and more enslaved. So I really need you, if you are a parent, if you are a friend of a parent, if you have nieces, nephews, grandchildren, children of your own, I really need y'all to wake up and pay attention to what's going on. So maybe you're afraid to speak up. I get it. That's where I play, right? And obviously Neyo is not afraid. So the article states that Neyo says, I just personally come from an era where a man was a man and a woman was a woman, said the singer. And I come from that era too, and a lot of us come from that era. But in this day and age, they want to redefine everything. Redefine what a human being is, redefine what's right, redefine what's wrong, change everything, smack it, flip it, rub it down. Oh no, right? Isn't that what most people want to do? They say, don't stop me, let me do this. And we're going to steamroll ourselves out of existence, because if you no longer define what we are, then we cease to exist. And I don't think many of you really peep game and really understand the overall agenda. Okay, see, this goes deeper than identifying genders. I'm going to read the article for those of you that are unable to see it on the screen. It says Grammy-winning musician Neyo is voicing his thoughts about kids these days. In an interview with Gloria Velez from Vlad TV, I'm not going to play the interview because Vlad TV runs like crazy copyright stuff, and y'all just know what time it is. You can go see it. It says the So Sick singer and father of 7. Now, mind you, Neyo is a father of 7. I'm also a father too, for anyone that thinks that I don't understand what it's like to raise a child and et cetera, et cetera. Like, I am a parent myself, so I know what this is like, right? He said he questioned whether minors should be allowed to receive gender affirming care. Now, you know, Florida has taken a strong stance against this, and this is why Dwayne Wade and Gabrielle Union wants to take Zaya, their daughter, out of Florida and go to California. Oh, we're going to talk about California in just a minute, right? Everything starts in California. So he says, I have no problem with LGBT. I have no problem with nobody, okay? Love who you love, do what you do. And I have to actually agree with that. People are going to do what they want, and they're going to make decisions. You got people in the community. We have friends, family members, coworkers. Some of you, it's your lovers. And the list goes on. We have children that are all a part of the LGBTQIA, etc. community. However, here's where we have to draw the line, right? He says, I just personally come from an era where a man was a man and a woman was a woman. And there was 2 genders, and that's just how I rock. Now we've got 22 genders. Or should I say 222 genders? Or maybe is it 2,000 genders? Maybe it's 2 million. You know, when does it stop? When are we going to say, okay, enough is enough? You don't even know how to address people anymore, right? Because you see a guy, and then that guy, you might call him a gal because he says, hey, I'm not a guy. And he says, well, I'm not a gal either. And then you say, well, what you are? And same thing, you see a lady, you try to address her as a lady. She says, I'm not a lady, I'm a dude. And then you try to address her as a dude. Well, actually, I'm not a dude. I'm actually non-binary. Then I'm non-binary. I'm gender fluid. And the list goes on and on and on. So you don't even know how to address people anymore. You don't know how to approach people. You don't know how to address people. And honestly, it's just a whole lot of confusion. You have doctors that are confused. I know doctors. You have teachers that are confused. My wife's a teacher. Okay, we don't even know how to address people, let alone if you want to romantically get involved. If you see them on the job, you know, how do you address them? Do you call them ma'am, sir, ma'am, he, they, that? Like, you don't even know how to address them. So if we don't even know how to address them as adults, how could parents actually know what a child truly wants? Like, a kid don't know what they want. They're a kid. Kids say they want to be one profession when they're growing up, and then they change their mind and say they want to be another profession. They say they like one sport. If they're into sports, then they say they don't like sports. They say they like one thing as kids. You know, they like one type of thing, and then all of a sudden they switch gears. And then you say, hey, I thought you was into this. I bought your whole room theme in this. What's the matter? You don't like Barbie dolls anymore? No, Dad. No, Mom. I'm not into that anymore. What's the matter? You don't like dinosaurs anymore? You don't like Legos? And the list goes on and on and on and on. Kids don't, parents don't even know if they like. Adults barely know what they like. And that's another conversation for another day. But when we're talking about children, and we're talking about doing something that cannot be reversed, that's a whole nother conversation, right? Okay, and this is what we're talking about. This cannot be reversed. All right, he says, he continued. This is Neyo speaking. He says, what's up, boss lady? Got the most profound member in the building. What's up, boss lady? Again, shout out to all my members, right? Neyo said, you could identify as a goldfish if you feel like. I don't care. That ain't my business. And I have to agree. Everyone wants to identify as something, right? That's not our business. I mean, unless we have to interact with you and you are our waiter, waitress, you're the person behind the counter, the person on the phone we have to call. We're not sure how to address you. Another conversation for another day. Anyway, he says it becomes my business when you try to make me play the game. And that is the problem. And that's what's going on. And that is why we're so outspoken. Many people, especially if you call yourself a Christian and a believer, you better be speaking up or doing something. Because it's hypocrisy if you call yourself a Christian or believer and you're just burying your head in the sand and you're not speaking up. Okay? Because they are forcing us to play their game. They are forcing us to comply with their rules. So while you just walk around and worrying about everything else in the latest fashion and what this celebrity said and did, I mean, I know I'm actually talking about a celebrity here, you know what I mean, but I'm trying to make a point. While you're distracted for all these other things, they're passing these laws, passing these rules, and then you're going to find where you have no freedom and no choice, right? So he says, I'm not going to call you a goldfish, but you want to be a goldfish, you be a goldfish, right? So what he's saying is that if it's a dude and she wants to be called a chick, we ain't gonna necessarily call you a chick or call you a lady or woman, but that's what you want to do. But it's a different story when we're talking about adults, okay? So it says Velez and Neyo then segged into a berating social media culture, trigger warnings, and other ways in which the world has become so sensitive. And that's another issue that I'm gonna have to talk about. Everyone is so sensitive. You can't show anything. You can't say anything. You can't do this. You can't blink your eye. You can't look at someone the wrong way. You can't breathe. You can't type. You can't write. You can't do a thumbnail. You can't post a video. You can't title this. You can't say this. Like, everyone is to the point where, I mean, what are we doing? Right? And it is true. He says he noted that we live in a weird time. I agree with it, and complained that comedians can't tell jokes no more. Facts, right? Before circling back to his stance on the trans identifying children. You can't even say anything. It's crazy, right? Neyo also says, I feel like parents have almost forgotten what the role of a parent is. He says, if your little boy comes to you and says, Daddy, I want to be a girl, and you just let him rock with that, Neyo continued. If you let this 5-year-old little boy eat candy all day, he's going to do that. Like, when did it become a good idea to let a 5-year-old, let alone, I guess, a 6-year-old or a 12-year-old make a life-changing decision for themselves? When did that happen? Like, I don't understand that. And I have to agree, all of these parents, okay, look, let me tell you what the problem is, right? Because I don't care. I'm going to speak out. I'm going to say what needs to be said, right? If God be for me, then who could be against me? The problem is parents that are trans themselves or want to be trans want their kids to be just like them. They don't want their kids to be straight, right? They want their kids to go all the way. And they have a problem with their kids being straight. So they want to force these changes on their kids and brainwash their kids. Raise and convince their kids that this is the best decision for them, like they actually know best, right? And then have this segue into the classrooms, in school systems, and everywhere else. So while you drop your kids off, by law, you have to send your kid to some type of school by law, unless you're homeschooling them. And most people aren't in a position to homeschool because of how society is deliberately set up, right? Your kids are getting fed this, and then they're watching Susie and John Doe and Jane Doe and all the other kids out there, right? Going through this. Okay, later the singer added, he says he can't drive a car yet, but he can decide his gender. Okay, and this is the interview. I'm not going to play it. Y'all could look at it. It says Gloria Velez and Neyo, right? This was the interview. I'm not going to play it because, like I said, Vlad TV, they copyright game is like on 1 million, so you would just get blocked. Anyway, one thing it says that y'all need to know: the American Medical Association and the American Academy of Pediatrics agree that gender-affirming care is not only safe for trans youth, but highly beneficial and often life-saving. Okay, so see how they get these organizations behind it, right? But I could tell you countless doctors, countless pediatricians, and medical people that don't agree with this statement. But see, they got to push this official statement. Well, it's safe. They said it's safe. Yeah, they said the juice was safe as well. They said drinking the juice during the pandemic was safe. Look at how that turned out, right? Think about all the medical staff who said drinking the juice to quench your thirst during the pandemic was safe. Okay? So I'm just saying, I mean, there's a point to what I'm saying, but y'all take it as you want. They're saying for minders, gender affirming care typically centers gender expression, publicly changing pronouns and names, and the use of puberty blockers, which pause puberty for up to a year so the patient can decide how to proceed with their transition. I mean, all of this is crazy. It's stopping their bodies from developing, and there's long-term complications with all this too. Okay, it says following the video's initial release, Neyo was swiftly criticized across social media and later reiterated his stance in an Instagram comment, which Velez shared on Twitter, right? He says what I read earlier. He says, first and foremost, I condemn no one, Neyo wrote. Who am I to condemn anybody? Your life, your kids, your choice. I was asked a question and I answered it. My opinion is mine. And see, this goes back to the point. You can't even say your own opinion. Talk about losing freedom. That's probably the bigger issue here that affects kids as well as us as adults. You can't even say what you truly feel and what you think. So let me ask you a question. Do you really think we still exist on that note? Or are our identities in existence being erased, right? He said it, my opinion is mine. I'm not asking anybody to agree with me, nor am I telling you what you can and cannot do with your children. I stated my opinion on a matter, and that's that. But you can't state opinions anymore. You can't even crack jokes about it. Comedians. He says, he also continued, why should I care if my opinion upsets you when you don't care if yours upsets anyone? And I have to agree with this. Like, people in the community, they don't give a flying flip if they upset you, if they violate how you feel, if they offend your kids or your grandkids or your nieces, your nephews or your friends. If they don't care about you, Michael Jackson said it best. They don't really care about us, but they want you to think they care about you. No, they only care about their agenda. Right? And what is nice about that? What is biblical about that? What is godly about that when somebody only cares about themselves? That sounds evil and satanic. That is exactly what the devil did. That's how Satan, Lucifer Morningstar, got casted out of heaven. Y'all remember? Because he was like, why should God get all the praise? I'm the brightest star. That's why he got the name Lucifer Morningstar. And he was leading praise and worship in heaven and doing all these things. And that's why him and 1/3 of the angels, now fallen angels, got casted out. Because it's all about pride. And that's why pride is one of the 7 deadly sins. Right? You don't care about nobody else. You got so much pride, you don't care about nobody else, right? I'm just saying this is biblical. You don't have to agree with the Bible. I know everybody doesn't agree with the Bible, but I'm telling you how I roll. So I guess I'm going to receive backlash because I'm telling you how I'm rolling. I'm sticking to my beliefs, but y'all can stick to y'all beliefs and it's okay, but I can't do the same. Somebody tell me how right that is, how American that is, how democratic in terms of us having a choice in the matter that is, right? How constitutional is that? Somebody tell me how constitutional is that? How freedom of speech is that? Because it's okay for you to do it, but I can't. You can do it. Nobody say nothing. I do it. Neyo does it. Tons of other people do it, and we catching hell. Folks, this is why you need to stand up, because the more people that speak out and the more people that stand up, if you don't agree with the stance that's going on out here, then you need to do so. Because guess what? They're speaking out. They're trying to pass laws and they're doing everything. Right? So anyway, he says we all have one, which means an opinion. He said people voice them regularly, whether they're asked or not. I was actually asked mine. Agreeing to disagree is not a declaration of war. But see, this is exactly how they take it. They say, you don't agree with my stance, then you are war. They'll put you almost in a terroristic category. It's crazy. And y'all know I'm right. I see y'all quiet in the chat, but y'all know I'm right. A lot of y'all probably scared to speak up because y'all don't want to be seen as speaking up and then it'd be cancel culture. So anyway, this was the post on Gloria Velez's Instagram or whatever. And you can see Neyo saying what I've read. Okay, That's essentially what it is. Same post that you can find on Instagram. All right. I just find this absolutely crazy. Okay. Again, y'all can watch the full clip. This just came out though, essentially today, and it's breaking news. And other content creators are going to cover it. There's been a few that have covered it. I just kind of wanted to get in the game. If we take a look here and we go to Gloria Velez's Instagram, you're going to see this is the post right here, right? And ironically, you also see the Jamie Foxx post here too, but I already covered that. Gloria actually agrees with Neyo. Yeah, the fact that this even has to be said showcases how badly too many in society, America nowadays, really don't get it. Somebody said, this is why I live in the woods alone and pop out of my rabbit hole every now and then. Yeah, it's like you can't even say nothing. It's just ridiculous, man. And it's evil and it's satanic. I've been telling y'all that, listen, I know there's millions of people out there that's a part of the community and they could go do whatever they want. But like I said, if we bring up our opinions, we're the ones catching it, right? Does anybody see anything terribly wrong with that? What is equal rights about that? That's not equal rights. That's one-sided rights. Okay? And if you don't agree with something, we should be able to speak up and have a stance for it. Right? We shouldn't be forced into a path and forced into law and forced into these ways. But see, this is what happens when you don't follow the ways of the Most High. Man thinks that his ways are right. All right. Take a look at this real quick. This is Sacramento, California. It says the California lawmakers in the state Senate Judiciary Committee on Tuesday moved forward with a measure that would require courts to consider a parent's acceptance of their child's gender identity in custody or visitation cases. Someone here says, as a mother of a trans child, it is jarring to know that TGI youth are at a higher risk of depression. Now, I told you why they're at a higher risk of depression, right? Remember, I broke down the meaning abomination. Do y'all remember that? I've been breaking this down many, many times. Let me show y'all very quickly, okay? What a lot of people don't understand is if you look at the meaning of abomination, it says a thing that causes disgust or hatred. Another meaning says a feeling of hatred, okay? And this is what the Bible talks about. These things are considered abominations, okay? People don't want to hear this, but it's considered abominations. So when parents want to go down this path, you can choose to rebel. God gives you free will, free choice. You can go against what the Bible says, but just know it's an abomination. And with that brings about that hatred. So any children, and this is another reason why we don't need to be doing this with kids, because it's already hard enough with adults, right? But then you got to deal with this with kids. So of course, kids are going to experience a higher risk of depression, mental health crises, self-harm, and the S word than their, I guess, normal gender peers. Of course, because it's not normal and it's not right. Right? But, you can agree to disagree and think it's right and want to change everything to make it be right. But even if you do that, it doesn't mean that they're still going to feel that way. And parents putting this onto their kids thinking that they know better. See, the parents' argument is, I have a son, right? And my son says that he wants to be a girl. So they argue that I have to make my son feel better. So they go get the surgery done. And then the kid is actually screwed up even more because number one, they're not even finished developing mentally, let alone physically. Their hormones, same thing. They have a girl. They say the girl wants to be a boy. So they get them to go through the whole process before they're even 18. Then they're going through this while they're kids. And it's just so much to it. It's hard enough as adults. So they're bringing this unnecessary stress on them. And of course, but they say that California, right? They're passing an act to take the opportunity to take one step closer to building a safer, more dignified, and equitable world for the TGI youth and their families, right? So this bill is Assembly Bill 957. It now heads to the Senate floor. And guess what? Once it passes in California, it's going to pass in a state near you. Okay? But most of y'all just going to sit back and y'all not going to vote against it if you don't agree with it. You're going to sit there and let it pass. And this is why this stuff gets passed, because we don't stand up and say nothing. We don't do nothing because we're afraid of getting canceled. But let me ask you this. They can't cancel everybody. So if everybody were to stand up, they couldn't do nothing, right? But this is why they can get away with this stuff. And you're finding more and more content creators, more and more celebrities, more and more people standing up. Look, enough is enough, people. All right, this is crazy. Let me know if y'all can hear this.
Taking a live look here over the state capitol now, and last night members of the Senate.
I don't know what's going on with this video. Here we go with the loading crap. When nothing's wrong with my computer, nothing wrong with my internet, and now the video's just sitting there loading. See this? It's absolutely ridiculous, man. This is ridiculous. Try to play it for you, but anyway, I'm just going to continue to read it. It says, Bill 957 heads to the Senate floor despite concerns from lawmakers on both sides. Mind you, lawmakers on both sides have concerns, right? As to how courts will interpret the measure. Okay, multiple senators in Tuesday's hearing indicated they want Wilson to clarify the bill if gender affirmation solely means acceptance and support for the child's identity, or if it also includes providing gender-affirming health care, including surgery and medication. Others raised concerns about how the bill might affect those who practice certain religions, and it will affect those of you that practice certain religions. It absolutely will affect those of you that practice certain religions, especially Christianity and Catholicism and the Islamic faith. I can tell you that right off the bat, because those are the three main religions that they want to steamroll and roll over and stop. Okay. Anyway, it says lawmakers in support of the measure noted gender affirmation would not be the ultimate requirement for judges to determine which parent gets custody. Let me break this down. Y'all don't understand, right? If they pass this bill, right, and let's say the mom is against gender reaffirming surgery, right, but the dad is in support of it. Listen, ladies. Y'all need to listen, ladies. This bill would be a reason for the father to get custody of the child over you. Game's up, ladies. Do you understand what I'm trying to say? All you moms out here, if the dad be like, yeah, I'm going to go ahead and make sure the child or children get the reaffirming surgery, right? If this bill were to pass, they could take custody from you, because this could be looked at that you're not allowing the child to be healthy and all this stuff. You're endangering the child's health. See how this is going to work? A lot of people are going to lose custody, but see, y'all don't want to hear the prophecy on this, right? Y'all don't want me to prophetically speak on this. This is serious, right? And this is why you need to do whatever you can to, if you don't agree with this, you need to vote against this, because there's people on both sides of the fence that don't agree, right? Lawmakers in support of this. Okay, I already read that. They said it won't be the ultimate requirement for judges to determine which parents get custody or how visitation they receive. But you best believe it will be a requirement. If there is a conflict and they need to break the decision, it's going to be based upon this, right? Okay. Republican Senator Scott Wilt criticized the measure, noting that for now, this just applies to divorce cases. Okay, what in the world is going on? They over here freezing stuff because I can't even screw. I can't even scroll down. I can't even access the stream. See what's happening? I can't even access the stream. See how they doing? I don't know if y'all can still hear me. Can anybody still hear me? Because all of a sudden they just locked everything up. As soon as I start preaching and talking truth, they just lock stuff up. I'm gonna have to start recording stuff like this as videos. This is crazy. I pretty much broke it down like a pound. Okay, Shayla says 1, she can still hear me. If y'all can still hear me, I'm pretty much going to bring this to a close. I reported this. I broke it down. Y'all see what they doing. They mess with my song in the intro. I can't even get the intro music to play right. Then as soon as I start going down the topic, they completely lock me out of the stream. I can't even get into my own stream. But yeah, I can access my computer. I can pull everything up on the computer just fine. Okay, I can pull I just want y'all to understand this is what they do. As soon as I start speaking out this truth, they lock my software up and I can't even access it to end the stream. Y'all hear me? So, I mean, this is crazy. I can't even access it to end the stream. This is what they do. Every time I speak the truth, they come after me because my voice is too strong. They don't do this to your other big content creators, right? They don't just completely lock them out of the program. I mean, at the very least, you would think I would be able to get into the program. That's why the video stopped playing. I thought it was something wrong with the website. No, I can't even get into, I can't even access the program. Ain't that crazy? Isn't that crazy? I can't even access it. I can do everything I want, but I can't even access the program because they're going to try to time me out. So what I'm going to say on that note, I'm about to get out of here. You can't say I didn't cover the story, and y'all can't say y'all don't have proof that they're trying to silence me and why I don't get views and subscribes and recommendations and likes. Okay, I know some other big content creators, they think they know everything. They think that people don't experience this, but those of you that are here right now in real time are witnessing this. Okay, yet once again, okay, everything's not about you're not good enough. Everything's not about your interest is not your material is not interesting enough. You're not posting enough. That's the bare basics. There's so much more that goes on in the world of YouTube when you speak the truth. Okay, so with that being said, I'm going to say, and I normally put this on the screen, but like I said, I can't access the stream. Right? I just literally can't access it. So, but those of you that aren't saved and you would like to be, John 3:16. Okay. For God so loved the world that he sent his only begotten son, Jesus Christ, so that you can have everlasting life. So if you say this, no one has to know what's going on. You're saved, and let the Holy Spirit guide you from there. Okay. Repeat after me. I believe that Jesus Christ died for my sins so that I can have everlasting life. I want to make you, Jesus Christ, Lord and Savior over my life. If you said that, you prayed that, and you believe it, ye are saved. Congratulations. So with that being said, I'm getting out of here because, again, I can't access the stream and it's just going to time out. Like, comment, subscribe, share. Okay. Get the information out. See what happens when you speak out. I told you they try to silence you. This is why this is why y'all ain't speaking out, because y'all scared. But God has not given us the spirit of fear, but of truth and of a sound mind. So I'll be back with some more material. It is what it is. I wanted to cover it. You're going to see other content creators cover it. And yeah, that's that. So with that being said, I'm going to try my best to get out of here. And again, I cannot end the stream. I cannot access the stream. I cannot do anything, but I could do every single thing else under the sun on my computer instantly. Just like snap your fingers, boom, boom, boom. It's crazy, man. They just got the whole thing locked up. I can't even see it to end it. It's crazy. It's absolutely crazy. All I get is a black screen when I go into the program. Crazy, man. It's Yo, this is crazy. Can y'all hear me? Put a 1 in the chat. Put a 1 in the chat if y'all can hear me. This is proof that I am still here. Because I just said bye to y'all and I'm still here. See what they do? Put a 1 in the chat if anybody's still here. Surprise, surprise, surprise. Surprise, surprise, surprise. Yo, Shayla's still here. That's what's up. See what I'm saying? Couldn't even get back in the chat. And now I can get back in the chat. Man, it's crazy. This the type of stuff they be doing. Got the whole stream window stuff look crazy on my end. I don't know what's going on. Yeah. So y'all saw it. Y'all saw proof. As soon as I started talking about the California bill and how we need to stand up biblically and what we need to do, they just stopped my whole stream. It's still messed up on my end, but at least I'm able to get into it and end it. Like I be telling y'all, people say, oh, maybe it's your computer. It's not. Everything on my computer is just fine. My resources are good. I got memory, I got RAM, I got all that stuff, but they try to go ahead and do these things. Absolutely crazy, man. But y'all got the message, y'all got the tea, and you see how when you hear other content creators, I don't care how big or how small they are, when you see them say that, well, you know, the only reason why your videos don't get any views is because you don't post enough, or they'll say, well, you're not good enough, your videos are not engaging enough, or they might say you don't structure the titles right. Man, all of that is a bunch of BS, right? Yes, that does apply, and that is a definite circumstance that takes place. However, if all of those boxes are checked and you don't see a content creator have growth, they're not getting the subscriber growth, the viewership growth, etc., it's more than just them not being good enough. Especially if they're speaking on certain subjects, you have to pay attention, look at the channel and what subjects are the channel speaking on. That's proof right then and there, what y'all saw in real time, that they try to silence me. Okay, and I've got other videos where I talked about this and you've seen this happen in other videos. Fortunately, I was able to get back in, and that's the only reason why I'm back here. But yeah, there it is on the screen like I wanted to do in the first place with the John 3:16. Oh yeah, and since I'm back, let me break these other scriptures down real quick. All right. Leviticus 18:22, thou shalt not lie with mankind as with womankind. It's an abomination, right? So again, when you hear about all these people, they talk about the struggles their kids going on, and that's why, because abomination means that they're going to receive these types of things. Okay, things that cause disgust or hatred, a feeling of hatred. This is what abomination means. Don't hate the player, hate the game. It's the definition of it, right? But they think they know what's right. You know, remember Deuteronomy 22:5. You know, what does it say? It says, the woman shall not wear that which pertaineth unto a man, neither shall a man put on a woman's garment, for all that do so are up, there we go again, are an abomination unto the Lord their God. These people will not inherit the kingdom. And in these last days, they want you to make you think that just because something's legal means that they're automatically going to inherit it. And again, if it's an abomination, what are those people going to encounter? Disgust and hatred. So when they deal with depression and they deal with all this mental stuff and higher levels, it's because it's an abomination. And if you choose to support these laws and these agendas and bring these kids up like that, guess what? They're going to go through this, whether they have the reaffirming surgery or not. I mean, it is what it is, people. And we got to get back to the Bible, get back to the basics. It seems like we're just getting further and further away from it, and stuff is getting further and further out of control. And that's exactly what the devil wants. Okay, what is sin? Sin is the abyss that separates us from God. So the further we can get separated from the God, the happier the devil is. He don't want you close to God. He don't want y'all speaking about God. He don't want y'all showing scriptures on your live stream. That's why he tried to take the stream down. But God has the victory, and I'm back. Okay, look at this. 1 Corinthians 6:9-10. Know that ye not that the unrighteous shall inherit the kingdom of God. These people are not going to inherit the kingdom of God. It also says, be not deceived. They're deceiving you. Look, neither fornicators, nor idolaters, nor adulterers, nor effeminate. Think about what they want you to do to make your son effeminate, right? And this works the opposite way too, to make your daughter masculine, right? None of these people are going to inherit the kingdom. This is crazy, man. This is crazy, right? Look, Romans 1:26-28. For this cause God gave them up to vile affections. For even their woman did change the natural use in which is against nature. So what is the natural gender of a woman, right? How does a woman normally use her body? And then you want to change that through reaffirming surgery. All of this stuff is an abomination. It's in the Bible. It's out here. But the devil will have you to believe, well, because it's legal and because we passed this law and this bill 957 and we're going to do 958 and 1010 and we pass all this stuff, they have you to believe that it's just fine. This is the world we live in. And if you don't stand up and say anything, it's just going to get worse and worse and worse. Then they're going to require every hetero person to go through these type of changes if you don't stand up. That's where it's going to go. You say, no, that won't happen. Well, then look at what's happening already with our kids. Look at what has already happened. It will continue to go all the way to you're completely erased. So if you think that you're a hetero straight woman, then your whole identity is going to get erased as that. You think you're a hetero straight man? Your identity is going to get erased if you don't say anything, you don't speak out, you don't educate people, you just sit back and let them go and just talk about it behind the scenes and complain. You're not doing anything about it. The Bible says we have to be hearers and doers of the world or of the word, right? So you got to do something about it. You can't just sit back and be like, well, I ain't going to say nothing, I ain't going to do nothing. You're going to have to vote. You're going to have to speak to lawmakers, speak to people, get the message out on your social media in the community. You're going to have to be, if God be for you, then who could be against you? And if you don't want to come out, say publicly, then you need to get behind and support the people that are. All right? Get behind the people, if this is how you believe, that are speaking out, because you know that's what they're doing. So you need to hit the PayPal, hit the Cash App, hit the Venmos of people that are speaking out for your cause. All right, the politicians and the organizations and the content creators like myself, et cetera, et cetera. You need to get behind them. That's one way the saying goes, put your money where your mouth is, right? I'm just saying, there's many ways for us to do this, and I try to make it plain. Not everyone needs to be a frontliner and come out, but y'all can get behind people that are, right? So I'm just saying all of this stuff, it's just crazy, man. We're just, it's out of control. And I know it's bad enough when adults do this, but we need to think about the children, think about the kids. So, yeah, Norma knows what's up. Yeah, she says they're trying to silence you because you're speaking the truth about our precious children. Children are a gift from God. The devil's a liar. Exactly. And most of these other content creators ain't saying nothing about it. Just facts. I am. So anyway, y'all witnessed them trying to silence me, and I lost a lot of viewers because of it and the whole situation, and they thought the stream was over anyway, but surprise, I was still here. But I am about to get out of here now. So there's your John 3:16. You want to be saved, pray that, believe it. I said it earlier, and you're good. All right, with that being said, let me get out of here, and I'll be back tomorrow. I gotta follow up with the New York situation. I want to give you the perspective as a gamer, because I've heard all these other content creators talk about it, just reporting the news, and they gave their perspectives. And I'm not saying their perspectives are wrong or anything, but it's a total different slice of the pie when you get it from an actual gamer. A lot of people don't understand what was the hype, what was the craze, why are these kids running downtown, why are they doing this, are they demonic? I mean, that's another conversation. Most people don't preach God anymore, don't preach Bible. So, I mean, they're not talking about God. Where do you think they stand? But that being said, there's still a reason why they responded the way that they did. So I'm gonna have to talk about it. Shout out to Miss Callie. Thank you so much for the $4.99 super sticker. I appreciate you so much. Thank you for doing that. And you are essentially sowing into this ministry. and your donation is seen by the Most High. So may God move on your behalf, Miss Callie. Okay. May God do whatever he sees fit for your life. That's all I have to say. Thank y'all so much for everyone who does support with me. Book your life coaching appointments with me. Again, I do them via video chat. Okay, we could talk video chat. Most people won't even sit down video chat. We can do it on the phone, video recordings, and in person if you live in the ATL, Georgia area. So with that being said, I'm going to get out of here. I'm just letting y'all know I stand up for these causes. I do this all the time. And I'm about to say almost like they messing with the stream again. So it might be my cue to get out of here. Please don't be a stranger, Miss Callie. I appreciate you so much. And I just want to educate y'all and let y'all know what time it is. With that being said, I'm getting out of here for real this time since I actually have control as it currently stands with my streaming software. So crazy, man, crazy. And hopefully I can get the intro part worked out where all of a sudden it'll play fine and I don't know what's going on and I be live and it just glitches out and pauses and buffers and all this stuff. So hopefully I can get that to work like it's supposed to. I might have to change up my intro just to try to avoid that issue. With that being said, I'm getting out of here and I'm going to stand strong. Y'all make sure y'all like, comment, subscribe, share, because I'm one of the few content creators that's willing to do that and put my channel at risk, put my name at risk, put my business at risk, put myself at risk, my family, put everything at risk. Not many of these content creators are willing to do that. They're going to dance around this. Maybe they'll say something here or there, but they're not going to go that far, right? They don't want to put their brand at risk. But at the end of the day, none of this stuff is going to matter. Your brand, how many subscribers you got, your content, none of this stuff's going to matter. Okay, it's going to quickly come a time when none of this stuff, how much money you got in a bank account, how much your ad revenue is, how many views you got, none of that stuff matters. The only thing that matters is your soul and the Most High and where we stand with it. So with that being said, love y'all. I'm getting out of here. I'll be back tomorrow and I'm sending y'all away with love, with blessings, and with light.